So now I'm going to talk about how emotions play into making good investments. So some common mistakes that people make in making investments is they let emotions run the decisions. So that's why you see a lot of people, they jump onto whatever is being hyped. So they can be AMC, GameStop, whatever, or Bitcoin itself, like whatever, like currently is being hyped because, oh, it went up so much. And then like people invest then when they hear about it. And then they end up essentially losing because they're buying it when it's already being hyped, when it's already going around. So they're letting euphoria guide their decision making, or let euphoria be the reason for investing. They're investing based off an emotion instead of being rational about it. And what can be done to get better at it is to, well, for once, to pay attention to from what place am I making decisions, from what emotions am I making decisions of. So, and then the best to actually invest is when the market in general feels not good, does feel panic, does feel fear surrounding their investments, and that's actually the perfect time to invest. So you're gonna have people that start selling out of fear and panic, and you're gonna see nothing but bad news also in that area. There's nothing positive being pushed about whatever investment you're making in whatever sector or field it is. And then that's the time to start looking into like what can be invested in, what's now a good price to buy in, what is a good deal compared to where it was before, and then buying it during that time. And then it can take 3 years, 5 years, and then depending when it's being bought, it might still take years. So it's not a get rich quick thing, but it's a lot quicker, and someone is not becoming shaken by the market, by what the market does, because they're finding the right entry point. So even if it drops a little bit more, it's not, that's already accounted for, that it might still drop a little bit, but nonetheless it's at a good price and not being shaken by the market, where the market is pushing positive news. And that's what you see a lot too, where mainstream media and news channels, news articles come out that are all supposed to be positive, and many of them can be even bought. So a lot of the news that is being pushed is actually to drive people into buying those investments so that other people can sell their investments to get their liquidity back out, the capital back out, and or to have liquidity come into the market so that they can get all their capital out and some profits out. So there's a game to it, and ideally you should act contrarian to how the market acts. So if the market is pretty much depressed about investment or a sector, or is just very negatively, then it's actually a good time to start looking into it and start accumulating things. And the best is also to go by sector, not individual companies. You see the whole sector generally go up, so it's not so important to be into just that one investment and say that must be the investment, but rather like to see that there can be multiple good investments within one sector, but the whole sector either has liquidity go out, so money, so people selling it, and then the price goes down, or there's money flowing into it, and then the price goes up of those shares or the individual investments. So that's usually a really good way to going by. You can also just be a regular long-term investor, one of those people that say like, yeah, I just put it aside, and then over 30-50 years I might have made some money off that. That could work if the investment outperforms inflation. But generally, I think it's just better to pay attention to where the market is currently at. Is money flowing out of a sector, or is it flowing into a sector? And then positioning yourself as the market is very unhappy and almost like in a doom scenario and unhappy about the entire sector. That's a good time to position yourself. Otherwise, if you just go by your emotions and by the market, so the market or news will push euphoria, will say, oh, this is so great, look at how much it went up, which actually is telling you like, don't go in. Now is the worst time to actually go in because there's a furor in the market. Don't go in. But if you do that, you could still end up again like having about the same monetary value as you did when you went into the investment, even though it dropped in price. If you wait out another 6 years, if you wait long enough, then it most likely goes back to what it was before, depending on what the investment is. It just takes a long time, and you essentially sit on an investment that for the next 5-6 years you see just decline in price, instead of having it actually make you money in investment. You just like seeing your investment drop. And the other thing is like, if you pay attention to that and you don't let you get yourself fooled into buying at the wrong time or selling at the wrong time, then you can make even more or have more invested in whatever you think is a good investment to make than if you wouldn't go by that. So you can always sell a little bit and then reinvest it when the market is down. But if you just go by however the market is, you're actually just going up and down, and it goes over 5-6 years. Then it goes back up to where it was, maybe a little bit higher, and so on. So paying attention to what drives you emotion-wise, I think is very important. So emotion shouldn't dictate how you invest. If you make a decision to sell based off an emotion, then that can be exactly the wrong time to sell. So if you don't know yourself, if you make it purely about you personally and how you feel, and because now you're feeling also scared because you read scary news, or the sector is just pushing nothing but scary news, then you are at the whims of the market. So always pay attention to why you want to make the investment. So is it because of euphoria, because of fear, why are you deciding to sell or buy something? So you have to pay attention. You should feel euphoria, or a good way to go by is you should feel euphoria when the market is down. When the market is giving you nothing but bad headlines, that's when you should be feeling euphoria. Or that's a better time to actually feel euphoria, because then you know, oh yeah, now is a good time to start, now is a good entry point, now is a good time to accumulate maybe. And yeah, these are some thoughts to making investments, and I'll see you in the next video.